down to there. And then finally, let us get some ambiance. Ambience. Yeah. This
Are you online, man?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
I was just gonna say I've got a bracket I might be able to substitute where you take all your stuff.
Alright. Everything okay over there, Alex?
He's muted.
Oops. Yep. Okay, so we've been off for a week for the Thanksgiving holiday here in America. And Sam, you were out of the country. You had a good time over in Europe, I heard.
Yep.
Now we're back. Everybody loves Raiken. When last we left off, you were trekking back to the west through the desert toward the city of Tuka because you had received word. Well, first of all, because you wanted to get back to civilization, it would give you the ability to purchase stuff you need and perform the rituals you want to perform. And then secondly, because you had received word from various contacts, but most specifically Calemdar of the Mages Guild in Tuka, who informed Laramendus that there was someone who seemed rather threatening, who came by specifically requesting Vendar's presence, and there was an indication that someone's life might be in danger over this. So he had stressed the importance of the group making haste to come see him. So after you left the Dragonborn tribe, you continued your journey west, stopping every 4 hours, and then there was some trouble in the last short rest of the day when I think it was 4 bullets burst forth from the sand looking for a meal and took on the party and were killed. But not before killing one of your sand lizards, the Dunanolians, that was pulling the cart. This was remedied when the World Hopper Nerevar offered to summon some magical lizards to help pull the cart and divide up the load, which would, at the very least, save the last lizard and, with luck, also increase your speed overall, allowing you to reach Tuka faster. So, with the last short rest of the day over, the combat survived. The group will continue heading to the west for the next 4 hours, and then take a long rest. Had everyone gotten all of their language lessons and such like out of the way?
I believe so.
I think that everyone that I was teaching stuff to had used up all their slots.
Okay. In that case, you continue through the desert as the sun sets above, and it creeps into twilight and then full dark. As per every previous day, the temperature begins dropping rapidly, and it becomes very cold. You are protected from the cold and the wind somewhat by the leather covering over the wagon. The interior of the wagon is furnished and soft, and you all still have, of course, cloaks and warmer clothes from when you were in warmer climes, so none of that is truly an issue, but you are aware that it is uncomfortably cold outside and an amazing divergence from the heat of the day. Now, I believe I already had Malachi roll all of the survival tests for today. So, moving to the long rest for the night, you have your options of, you know that the wagon can comfortably sleep 6 people, with 1 person out on the box for guard duty, or you have other options, those being Lehman's tiny hut, or the cabin.
Lehman's tiny hut isn't an option.
Lehman's tiny hut isn't an option, so you have the cabin if you don't want to sleep in the tent.
I vote cabin.
Last time we did the cabin,
You were eaten.
existence of it attracted a purple worm, and while
Then I
I'm sure
can get
Vendar
even
would-
more poison!
while I'm sure that Vendar would like more poison, I don't know if he has the vials for it.
No,
Tragically-
no cabin. No cabin.
Vendar,
All the cabin!
if I remember right, you've got, like, at most 5 vials left.
Okay.
Because you had filled 18 out of the 20 extra you had brought with you, and assuming you kept vials that you had drained, that would be maybe another 3.
That's a good point. I need more vials.
You need another bag of holding, because... How many total is that? You bought 20 extra. How many did you have on top of those 20?
Like 25 or something.
So you've got about 50. So you're carrying 25 pounds
That's,
of
I
poison
currently
vials.
have-
Of the most rare poison on the planet.
I'm currently carrying 40 vials of purple worm poison.
Okay, so that's still
So 20 pounds.
pounds. Like this is a significant amount of weight. You know, assuming that in your potion pouch on your belt, you've got 3 to 5 of these things, and the rest are in your backpack.
Okay.
I mean, you do have, like, the chest inside the wagon to store things in, but that means they won't be on your body if you somehow manage to go through 39 of them. That last one won't be with you.
Regardless, we better curl up for the night.
So,
Sleepy sleeps.
I don't bring it up too often, but every now and then I like to just double check and make sure that the allocation of goods is sensible in a physical world. So, are you carrying 20 pounds of vials in your backpack? And if so,
No, I
what
would
else is there?
imagine I'm storing most of them in the bag of holding if I could.
Alright, that
I would like to-
requires
I would
talking
like
to
to-
Leah.
Okay, Leah, I would like to store some of these poisons in the bag of holding because I'm carrying too much poison.
Words I never thought hear Vendar say.
Why not use the chest in the cart?
You know how many times this has been threatened to be blown up?
Or stolen.
Yes, I'm not losing all of this.
Well, we
It goes
wouldn't
in the
want it
holder.
to spill all over the place. Fine.
It's corked and stuff.
Okay, so with Leah's permission, how many vials are you going to... Let's say how many are you going to keep, and we'll just say the rest go in the bag. So how many do you want on you? And remember, they're about half a pound each.
I will keep 10 on me
Okay,
and put 30 in the bag.
okay.
So that's 15 pounds.
15 pounds, Leah.
That's fine.
Okay.
For a second, I was really afraid you were going to say that's a bit too much.
Which brings us to the other thing that you were probably loaded down with, Vendar, and that's gunpowder and shot.
Good luck getting that in the bag of holding.
I put that in the cart. I imagine that's in the chest in the cart, though I should probably write that down. I don't know where.
Yeah, so you should make a note of how much you have on you, and then how much is in the cart. That way you know what the total is and how it's divided up. And I believe, let me think here, I think those were each a £1/4 for one bag of shot, or one shot in your case, and one bag of powder. That sound right? Sounds right to me.
Sounds good enough.
Sure, it was a £1/4. So that together, the ammunition was a £1/2 per shot. That?
Yeah, mine was more.
Yours is more because you need 2 of each.
Mm-hmm. Which I believe I remember writing it down. I only carried 2 shots with me.
I don't know
So-
if, I think the place to check, Leah, that had spent a little time in the bag. Did you just delete those lines, or did you zero them out? Because you'd be able to tell me what the weight was.
I remove things that disappear, that I take out.
Okay. There's one other place. It'll be... Give me just a second. Just need to go here, because it'll be in my documents. Hopefully. Where
I'm gonna make sure I sleep within 10 feet of Raiken.
Okay.
And use bonus when I wake up.
Okay. Let's see here.
That's if Raiken wants to sleep 10 feet away from you.
I'm sneaky. You don't have a choice.
Or not. Okay. I think we'll still just go with that. That sounds right. That's what I remember doing. I can go back to the old recordings, and I think it was a £1/4 for each one, because I remember taking the total number and dividing by 4 to figure out what the weight was. So, wherever those things are, £1/4 for the ammunition, £1/4 for the powder, and for the musket, you need 1 ammo, 1 powder to fire a shot. So make sure that you have matched pairs. And determine how much you have with you. It'll be in your backpack. And then how much
The powder... There's no powder item in my backpack.
There's no powder
There's
item?
just the bullet.
Okay,
it's
where'd
just
the powder end up?
I don't think there's a powder item, as far as I remember.
I see what you mean. Was it that we just even said to put in twice as much?
Yeah, I think we just made the bullets a £1/2 and said that there was a bullet and a powder for each.
Oh, okay. I mean, that works. If that's what I did on Beyond, it was a while back, wasn't it?
Lead balls and a thunder gunshot is £1/4 each.
Yeah. I mean, so that just means that I'm using a sensible number, because it's the same number they used.
Yeah, I found out that there's still 100 amounts of lead balls and thunder gunshots in the cart.
Okay,
That
that's
was
where
in the
they-
bag of holding.
Right.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
I know that a significant portion of the powder got blown up during the fight with the skeletons, but then more was fetched. Okay.
So what I have in my inventory is it says I have Renaissance bullets. I don't remember how they got it. If you put them in there, or if I found those and put them in there. I'm honestly confused about it. It says I have 37 of those. Bundle size of 10.
Okay. I might have just dropped them in just so that there was a marker somewhere in D&D Beyond, and it says £1/2 each is the weight.
It says the total weight is 11.1 pounds with 37. So it doesn't really make any sense.
Yeah, that is a little weird. I don't know what that's all about. I thought there was something just called ammunition on there. But in any event, Leah, you have a marking that tells us how much is in the cart. Is what you just told me. That's what the number you
Yeah,
just gave me.
yeah, I have a marking of the amount in the cart that I left. Like everything that is in the cart that Leah left from the bag of holding,
Okay.
I have noted.
Okay, and that included,
The lead balls and the gunshot.
Okay. so no powder. All the powder went in that pile and blew up.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I don't have a problem with that. I'm just trying to figure out where everything is.
Yeah, it's because you told me that the lead balls and stun gun shots didn't let out any smell, so Leah didn't find it.
Okay. Yeah, the powder is what stinks. It smells of sulfur.
So she found those when putting into the cart, but decided to be good about it and just put it in a cart.
Okay. Alright, so there's 100 pounds of that.
No, in the cart is 25 pounds.
Oh, 25 pounds. Oh, there's 100. Right, there's 100 total.
Yeah, there's 100 in total.
Yeah. Gotcha,
So it's 25 pounds of each, so it's 200 total though. But yeah, 25 pounds of lead balls, 25 pounds of thunder gun shots.
Cool. Cool. All right. Well, at least you have an accounting of some of the ammo here.
Yeah, there's also crossbow bolts, 65 of them.
Yep.
In the cart.
It is important to keep track of the ammo that you have so that you know what you need to buy.
Yeah.
So,
the crowbars in there.
are you using the tiny hut, the cabin, or not?
No.
No cabin.
Alright.
Cabin.
So 6 of you can fit in the wagon with 1 person on watch, which leaves 1 person at least with the tiger out. So is this the arrangement you want to use?
I wonder who that person is.
Jebel?
Yep, it's Jebel.
Okay.
Jebel's okay sleeping with the tiger.
Then I'm afraid we're gonna wake up with no Jebel.
Oh, Jebel's fine. He loves animals.
Yeah, the animal loves him too, as a snack.
That's just you.
No, Jebel too. Just me more.
Goodness. Okay, so you set up yourselves inside the wagon as laid out, or are you actually kicking Jebel over to Kubriel?
All I know is I need to be within 10 feet of Raiken.
I mean, Kubriel is Raiken, so Raiken would probably figure to sleep next to her. I mean, I'm assuming someone's staying watch too, so Raiken can take the first shift.
Okay, you can be first watch. Perhaps somebody else, this person over here, whoever is on the box, can be second watch. As that would allow you to just trade places afterward.
That'd be Yukikaze, wouldn't it?
I think it's Cyrus who's up on the box.
Oh, Cyrus, sorry,
at
yeah.
the moment.
That's Cyrus's.
But I need to be within 10 feet of Raiken.
When you wake up. Do you want to go sleep over by the tiger all night?
If I have to.
Why do you need to be within 10 feet?
So that I have a chance at making my saving throw. I can't make it on my own.
Oh, is this for exhaustion?
What was that?
Is it for exhaustion?
Yeah.
Okay. I think for Lara Mendes, since you had declared that you wanted to spend most of your time talking with Nerevar, he would be going over his theories on magic and explaining how enchanting items tends to work.
Okay. And I'm also perfectly happy to talk with him about how magic works in this world, and probably discussing differences and all of that because it's
Yeah.
interesting to both
He
of
will
us.
be
presumably.
very yes, he will be very interested in that. That aside, I don't think there's anything else to cover unless I've missed something.
Don't think so.
Okay. Then Raiken, please make your perception check for your shift.
Okay. Well, 1. So hold on, let me make sure what my perception is then. Passive is 11.
Okay. It's very quiet out on the dunes. There's some, gusting of wind, and every now and then, in the moonlight, as the moon is going through its waning phases, you'll see dust devils kick up. You'll hear shifting of sand from time to time, but everything seems quiet, and nothing seems to come out and attack you this time. Your shift goes by uneventfully.
Next.
Who are you waking up?
I guess I will wake up Cyrus next.
Okay.
Oh joy, this is gonna go great.
So, Cyrus, you've been asleep for, and 2 hours.
Yeah. I will sleepily keep watch.
Sleepily.
Alright, roll your perception test.
So, with my disadvantage, I got a 3, I believe.
Okay.
So, passive's 9.
Oh my god, someone has a worse passive than me?
Yeah, I have negative wisdom.
Nice. So, again, the whistling of wind, the grinding of sand being blown from one dune to another, the occasional skittering noise or lurching croak of something out in the dark, but nothing causes you any alarm, at least.
I'm gonna go kick the gnome awake. Gently kick.
That's rude.
Okay. Alright. Jebel, you've been asleep for about 4 hours, and you know that it's the middle of the night at this point, and there's a halfling, reaching in over Vendar and shaking you awake inside the wagon.
What do you want?
Your turn. Go watch. Need sleep.
What?
For anything trying to kill us.
Oh, I get you. Okay.
Diablo.
Maybe I should have gone with one of the ones that doesn't have dark vision.
Alright, and then you crawl your way back over to the wagon. Or over the wagon, over the tiger, to make sure that you wake up next to Raiken.
Crawl over the wagon.
The tiger snores and growls for a moment, but doesn't open its eyes as you nuzzle in next to Raiken. Jebel, you may make your perception check for your shift watching.
It's a 21.
21. You can see in the star and moonlight on the sands that there are several small creatures milling about, scavenging for food, some chewing on plants, some hunting one another, but nothing big enough to to cause you any worry, and all of them stay clear of the wagon. And the lizards that are, well, the one lizard that appears to be asleep, and the others that are stood stock still and staring ahead. Actually, while you're on watch, those poof. They, just, like, one at a time fade from existence.
Poofity poof.
Actually, do they last 8 hours or 24 hours?
I thought it was 8, but
I need to do a quick check, sorry. Books. Handbook 1. Find.
Oh. I forgot. I should correct it. My passive was 5. No, 4.
4.
4
Yeah,
because of
because
disadvantage.
it gets reduced by 5 for disadvantage.
So, yeah, I got a 4, guys.
Nice.
Oh
Congratulations.
gosh.
Actually, they last 12 hours, so they don't poof just yet.
They're getting there.
Yep.
My passive perception is so bad right now.
Alright, uneventful, otherwise quiet out here. You can choose who you want to wake up for the final shift.
I will crawl back in and wake Vendar.
Alright, Vendar, you're fine.
Wake.
You can wake Laramendus, who is awake at this point.
You can wake Lara Mendes, who has been awake the entire time.
He was meditating before.
Yeah.
But like now he's awake and probably just like talking with Ash or something.
Or, the other elf who's awake at this time.
No, because Nerevar sleeps, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Nerevar does sleep.
Or
Forgot
I
about
could
that.
just wake the guy
Because
who's
he's a
got
freak.
crazy perception.
It is, Jevel's choice who he gets to wake up.
Vendar.
Alright, Vendar. You find yourself being awoken.
What?
It's your turn to keep watch.
I look over at Laramendus.
No, not him. He's
I
okay.
noticed this because I crit. That was a waste of a crit.
Nice.
Vendar will crawl out of the wagon. Keep watch.
I can take the watch if you would prefer to sleep more. I don't
I'm
know
already
how much
awake
sleep
now.
humans actually need.
Never paid attention.
Yeah, it's some amount of time.
It's
Doesn't
more
wake
than
up.
0, which is what I need, so it's dumb.
It's always weird.
Oh, wait, this is Gabriel. Damn it!
And before Vendar leaves, as Jabu is lying down. Oh, Vendar, I got you something. Remind me in the morning.
Okay.
Okay. You may roll your perception test.
Well, I got a crit, so 30.
You crit and it's only a 30? For shame!
I'm only plus 10, but my passive is 25.
I don't know how that works, but I don't care.
The feat only
It's because
increases
of my, my feet.
Oh, it only
increases my
increases
passive, but not
passive.
my,
Yeah.
Gotcha. Alright then. Yeah. I mean, there's all kinds of small little critters, especially like small insects and snakes and lizards and the like all active at night. You even are pretty sure you saw something that looked like a mammal or marsupial of some kind. It had fur, scurrying about and burying in the sand. But it seems that you are being left alone by the scorpions and the bullets and the purple worms for the time being. The sun begins to rise in the middle of your shift, and by the time your 2 hours watch is over and others are beginning to rouse out, the sun has crested the horizon and the temperature is beginning to rise. So, it is day. You may all have one long rest, and all the benefits that go with it. Which includes Cyrus, who may have all the benefits of a long rest.
All the benefits, including getting rid of exhaustion?
It gets rid of 1 level of exhaustion.
Woo!
What date is it now? We passed
It should be the 15th, I believe, right?
Yeah.
15th. Okay.
I just check here. Nope, not
I'm
the right
not
one.
so sleepy anymore.
This one.
Because we did the 13th, I gave that the bear, and then the 14th was when we started.
Traveling. Yep. So now it is the 15th.
Okay.
Alright, I've updated the homepage for that. It's now the 15th. I think... No, I don't think there's anything else to say. Everybody gets 1 long rest. You're finally free of your level of exhaustion, Cyrus. And it'll be up to Yukikaze to use his lovely maps and sextant and sense of direction to lead the party to the gates of Tuka.
Yeah, I wake up with a smile and swing on to the front of the wagon as soon as I've done my morning rituals.
Indeed. Out of curiosity, where do you go to do your morning rituals? Assume
Just
it's not,
somewhere.
not right next
No,
to
I mean, by this time the bleeding has stopped. But so it's just it's just normal morning rituals.
Okay.
Just taking a whisk somewhere.
So you walk
dressing.
you walk a dune over. There it is. Huzzah.
So,
So, is anyone already by the steering when I get there? Because I'm gonna swing opposite next to him.
Well, yep. Yukikaze is up there. Zoop.
Always.
Down here.
So I'm gonna swing up next to you and go. "Ugh, the desert is so gross. I can't wait to get rid of it."
Oh, you begin to love it after you live here for a while. Or your whole life.
They say that about prison, too.
You guys just don't know the beauty in it.
Beauty, sure.
I'm also not sure I've ever heard that about prison.
Cyrus is riding the Kubriel with Raiken.
Sorry, but I really miss grass. You can't stand all this heat and brown and coarse sand that gets all
Don't you do
gross when you pee in it.
That is more than I need to know, young one.
I get now what.
I gotta
Yeah,
admit,
like what?
it's nice not having to risk setting a forest on fire, but I don't like the heat.
You don't like the heat? I thought it was part fire.
No, I'm part dragon. There's a difference.
Is there?
Yes.
Well, I mean, the dragons I met spit poison.
So, yeah, one of the things that you noticed was keeping you nice and warm during the night, Cyrus, was that the tiger had rolled such that her large, muscular forepaw was wrapped around you. And when you came awake the next morning, she saw that you woke up and licked your face. Rather like a dog, but with a very abrasive tongue.
Yeah. Tiger tongues.
I'm glad you brought me a meal to wake up to, Raiken.
Oh, you're welcome.
God, what does that?
What's she saying?
Bares her fangs.
You didn't hear me say it because I telepath to her. You're welcome.
I can see you staring, though.
She
I'm not
bares
dumb.
her... No, you wouldn't know. She bares her fangs and lowers her jaw to consume the halfling. You see this coming. She's going to eat you.
Yeah, I was just gonna move away. Just don't quit at you. You know I'm not
How can you
eating.
move away? She's holding you down.
She is, in fact.
Let's see.
You'll want to either do some magic or escape a grapple with your athletics or acrobatics.
Let's
Or
see what...
diplomacy? You can speak.
Let's see. What's if it might get me out of this, if any. Fireball would work. Well, assuming there's no reaction to those stuff, I'm not for eating. Then I guess I'll initially just try to escape.
Yeah, I mean, she
Without-
seems, in fact, determined to eat you.
Alright, then I'm gonna try just getting out normally.
Alrighty.
Raiken got a 4, so he just thinks she's playing.
What's her athletics, Raiken? What's her strength bonus?
Her strength is +3.
I think I beat it.
She got a 12.
I got a 23.
Wow.
I got a nat 20.
So you manage to escape the grab just as the teeth come to consume you.
How rude.
She lazily gets to her feet. Raiken, you're... I actually prefer it when the meals run.
You better tell
now,
that thing to back
Gabrielle.
off, or it's gonna get blasted in the next week.
You can play with him, but no eating.
I fail to see the difference.
Well, the difference is he's still around after you're done.
I mean, technically, the same is true of both.
Ew.
Just don't eat him. I don't need him possibly poofing you.
Then why did you offer it to me?
I didn't offer it. I was joking.
That was a cruel joke.
I'm sorry. Next time I'll let you know for sure if you can eat him or not.
She moves away from the halfling. Disdainfully.
Why is there gonna be a next time? Just why? Why can't you tell halfling's off limits?
So where are you gonna be? I think I will move
I'm gonna go find a place in the wagon. I'm small enough, I'm sure there's room.
There it is. I can now do it like this and have people up top here represent the ones on the box. Huzzah. Okay then. Malachi, right, Yukikaze.
Mm-hmm.
You will please roll me survival checks.
Checks. So that's how many?
One for each leg of the journey. Let me think here. Right. First, Nerevar has to perform a ritual. I forgot, you're out of all those horses. So when you woke up, you saw that there was only the one lizard left. Forgot to update that. Yeah, it's not terribly much. So he performs a ritual, which takes 10 minutes. And he rolls his Arcana. Ooh. I need to check this. He didn't roll for Poopy that time. He actually got a decent roll. There you are. Arcana. 44. Okay. So, another bunch of lizards materializes, and as they stand there looking about for a moment, suddenly they all kind of like seem to boil a little, like they bubble and their image roils for a moment, like very unnaturally, and then their backs burst and they sprout these glossy wings like those of a pseudo-dragon.
Oh, cool.
Nerevar looks upon these and sighs before getting back in the wagon. Cal flits off and lands on top of one of them, looking excitedly around from the top of its head. Says, well, unfortunately, they're pulling a wagon, so being able to fly isn't actually that useful.
But they look pretty.
Thank you. Well, they're much faster, though that will only raise our average speed by a bit, considering that we've got this last one that's a living specimen, which you fed. In any event, he pulls out his spell book and a quill and begins scratching in it and says, it'll probably save us another hour or two by the end of the day. According to what you've told me, that should still land us in the city by this evening. Which is considerably faster than we would have made it even with 2 of these beasts. But at least a day sooner than with only 1. So, shall we get back to it?
Just knowing we'd need to spend another night in this desert.
Oh, come now. It's not so bad. I mean, it could be a frozen tundra with white dragons menacing you at every turn.
I can deal without the dragons, but a tundra sounds better. At least it's fresh air.
Beg pardon, but is this not fresh air?
That's too warm. What's that, a cat?
It is a cat. I have a kitten, and he's rubbing his face on my mic.
Kubriel's invading the real world.
No,
His name is Grip.
this air is too stale and hot. It's strangling me. If you've ever been in a northern mountainy area, you know, the air there is so much fresher.
Where I come from, there's a large glacier to the north, and I suppose I can understand that you mean the air is more crisp than this, which is hot. You prefer the cold?
I'm from Evangard. It's mostly snow.
You only like the cold because you grew up in it. Just like Yukikaze only likes this desert because he grew up in it.
I didn't say I only like the desert. I just say I like the desert because it's awesome.
You like the desert because you grew up in it. That's why you like it.
Huh? I don't hate other places though.
Well, neither do I. Well, I hate the desert.
You ever been to Evangard?
Anyways.
I think he asked you a question, actually, Yuki.
Did
Vendar asked if you'd ever been to Evangard.
that wasn't one of the places we? No, I haven't. I don't. No.
Okay.
I wouldn't talk because I would bet you would not like Evangard.
It's very opposite on this.
I see. Well, every place in every world I've been to has some good and some ill about it. It's just, you know, you take the good with the bad and you've got the facts of life. So, you've got 4 hours, then an hour break, then 4 hours, and you'll basically be at Tuka because of these mounts.
Before that, though, I am gonna activate Speak and talk to the last alive lizard.
Okay.
The one that's actually real.
Okay.
How are you coping, having lost your friend?
It looks around, and you know, licks its eyeball and says, "I'm hungry. I have more friends now, though. Look at all of them."
Yeah, I mean, they're lovely.
They're not very talkative, though.
I'm afraid they won't be.
They also don't taste good.
Have you tried?
Do you not?
I don't think I can reach.
You see its tongue smelling the air around it rapidly, and it turns its head toward the nearest lizard. It kind of like leans over and tastes the air right around it and says, "No, I don't really like the smell of them."
Well, they will be traveling with us until the evening, and then finally, you can rest.
Normally telling them that would get a rise out of them, though. I'm getting no reaction. You smell! The other lizard does not respond.
Well, what can I say? They won't talk back, I'm afraid. They're different.
They came out of the sand. That's where I came from.
Yes. It's not exactly the same.
It licks his eye. How come they won't talk to me? I'm bored. You're talking to me. I'm less bored. I'm bored again.
Wow, well,
Hey, wait!
somehow I feel like you and the tiger will get along very well.
How come you can talk to me?
Well, I talked to you before. I guess you wouldn't remember that.
No. Wait. No.
It's magic.
It just blinks. Its eyes looking around it in different directions. What's magic?
It's something that some of us can do that is not from this earth. It's not natural.
Do you smell with your tongue?
No, I don't. I smell with my nose.
Does anybody else in there smell with their tongue?
Maybe the bigger guys?
Bigger guys?
The scaly guys. Well, I mean, we will speak in form of images, I assume, so he would see who I'm talking about, the Dragonborn.
Oh. Maybe
I don't
we
think
have
that's how it
magic.
works.
I have a magic tongue.
Actually, it's not a telepathic thing. It's a more like
No.
I don't understand. With
You're-
speak, it's more like
You're croaking at them.
yeah.
You're making lizard noises at them, and you understand their lizard noises. You are, in fact, speaking.
Vendar watches you.
So you're just, like, poking your head out through the leather
Yeah.
flap at the front of the wagon, just like, what do
No,
you
no,
want to?
I wanted to sit in front.
Alright. Come on, Vendar, though.
Yeah,
Let's
you're on the
look down.
box, aren't you? You're out in front of the wagon. Where the
Yeah.
person where Yukikaze is steering from. I've represented that as up top on the stream,
Oh, okay.
because it's easy enough, but you're technically between, these 6 and the lizards.
Yeah.
So, Vendar would be, moving up here and then poking his head out
Oh,
toward the
Vendar
lizards.
is poking his head up. Yeah, I thought it meant that I was, and that's what confused me.
Oh, no, Vendar. Vendar's just, like, poking his head out through the
Vendar
flap behind you.
Now I'm following you.
Vendar hears you croaking, just kind of like, huh? And just kind of watches you.
You hear, like, these weird little hisses and ribbits and belches, and you hear a conversation, a concert of these noises, and you notice that she and the lizard are both making weird noises.
Fascinating.
Do you have food?
We're gonna stop for food in some time.
I want food.
Keep moving forward, and you'll get it sooner.
There's food ahead?
There is food ahead.
You see him pulling against the reins, the harness, as he tries to move faster.
I look over at Yukikaze and say, I promised him food, but not yet.
Oh,
We
great.
need to feed it. We need to feed it when we stop.
Yeah, it's like every now and then, you just keep seeing its tongue whipping out of its mouth back in as it smells the air, and it's still like straining against the harness a bit. You can feel that the whole system is a little off kilter, so you have to speed up the other lizards to make up for it.
Also, by the way, you got distracted what was going on, and you never told me how many survival rolls to make.
3. With your advantage, because you're the native with the accoutrement to help you with this.
Sorry. I'm on the wrong page. Shit, there it is. So first oh. I must not be fully awake yet. Oh.
With advantage, you didn't roll good?
No.
Okay, what'd you get?
Hold on. Okay. So first one was 9,
Okay.
then 15, and then 19.
Okay.
And progressively got better.
That's good. So yeah, by midday, you're checking. You know, by the midday stop, you're checking the map and looking around and you know, using the telescope and sextant to try and get an idea of your approximate position using the mountain range in the distance and the horizon. And it just something doesn't feel quite right. So you change course a little bit. You think maybe you must have made a miscalculation somewhere earlier, so you're going to try overcorrecting a little bit. And you continue on until the next one. You look around and you feel better. You think you've narrowed down what the mistake was before, and so you continue correcting. And so by evening, you feel very confident about where you are.
Okay.
So then I would want to get through the who's learning what languages, because you got, you know, at least like 8 to 10 hours here to study.
Hooray.
So I guess just who's offering languages to teach. Let's start with that.
I'll offer to teach languages, but I want to learn Sylvan.
I'm perfectly happy to teach any of the languages that I know. So
I need one primordial and one draconic.
I can do that.
And then, I don't know, Dwarvish.
Alright. Is anybody offering Dwarvish?
I can do Dwarvish.
You can do Dwarvish, Larmendus?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, I would want to continue my at least 1 hour of my Elven lessons, since I'm now in the cart and not on the tiger. During that hour, I will just scoot back into the wagon and I will go back front again once I'm done.
Okay. So, it sounds like, Jebel, you can mark down the 3 you asked for.
I will also sit in on the primordial.
Okay. So you may mark down a primordial, and then you will teach a Dwarvish and a Sylvan, is what I heard?
I think so. Yeah. Is there
Anybody
another?
teach
Oh, there's an
Draconic?
Elvish.
An Elvish.
Is there any chance you're willing to teach traditional Sylvan to, like, just me?
What about Draconic? I need Draconic.
That you could sit in on that. I need to learn Sylvan.
Oh, is Draconic already being taught?
Yeah, by me.
1 hour of Draconic. So, language is being taught. An hour of primordial. An hour of Draconic. An hour of Elven. An hour of Dwarvish. So that'll be the first period before the first stop. So 1 hour of each of those.
Okay, so people who want those and are not the ones teaching them, please mark them down. That is the first 4 hours of the trip. Then there is a second 4 hours. What is being offered the second 4 hours?
I need 3 hours in Sylvan.
If nobody wants any of the other languages that I'm capable of, I can do 3 hours of Sylvan.
More Draconic.
I can teach Draconic. Let him teach Sylvan.
Okay. So this one will be 3 hours of Sylvan and an hour of Draconic.
Considering that Cyrus is the one teaching and then benefiting, it would have to work out that way. But that means that people can still take other things that don't involve Cyrus or Laramendus during that time, if they don't want Sylvan or Draconic. And remember that you get 3 hours per day that your brain can absorb. So once you hit 3, that's it, even if there's still lessons going on. So make sure that you're only getting the 3 that you ask for.
What's the I forgot. Where's like the chart for this?
It's pinned.
Oh, I was in the wrong channel. Oops. There it is.
It's in one of the two channels and it's pinned. I don't remember which.
Yep, I found it. It's in
Yeah.
just user D&D.
Second one down.
One more lesson in Sylvan and I'll make it to DC 15.
Alright, so in the afternoon, it sounds like there's an hour of Draconic and 3 hours of Sylvan being taught. Are people going to just sit in for those, or are they going to seek other languages? Because they can seek other languages if they want to teach each other.
Would anyone like to learn Gnomish? No? Okay.
I would, but I'm occupied.
Not today.
Are you occupied for the Draconic as well? Because don't you already know it?
Not for the Draconic one, so I would be
You
happy
could have an
to
hour.
take a lesson in Gnomish
Yeah, you could have that hour.
if Jebba would be so kind.
You have an hour of like the most unfocused.
You will notice that Lara Mendes is like coaching you on how to teach while you're teaching.
Somewhere in amongst the lessons, you will notice that during this time, Nerevar and Cal are variably chatting, and he's making notes in his notebook while you all are busy. But while he can't, while he's prevented from having deep conversation with Lara Mendes, you will notice that he performs a ritual while riding in the cart. And before he does so, he will ask, sort of generally, to the people in the cart, has anyone got, I don't know, a dagger or a sword they'd be willing to part with temporarily?
I hand him a dagger.
Thank you. And he goes about performing this ritual, speaking his odd version of Elvish, and incanting and making sigils. And that takes him about an hour. And he holds it up afterward. Dagger looks much the same as it did. He goes, well, that's odd.
What's that?
That's a dagger.
Indeed, but he sort of weighs it between his two hands and looks at it very frustratedly and says, It's supposed to be a +1 dagger now, a magic dagger. But it's not.
What is it?
Well, the magic's in it, but I can't seem to access it. I can see the magic.
What does that mean?
I don't know. Is that some sort of strange something you have to do in your world to get to the magic in items?
We have to attune them.
You have to what now?
Attune them.
How do you mean?
Like earlier, when your sword that I held for like an hour, and it kind of
The one you held
changed
for
to
5 minutes?
I thought it was an hour, not 5
It was
minutes.
5 minutes.
Well, still, it's kind of like your sword that I held earlier when it changed to kind of fit my size. It's like that, but like for an hour.
Well, that's stupid. He like leans back against the wall of the cart with the dagger in his hand and just sort of glares at it. He's going to be quiet for about an hour now. You continue your lessons. The lessons continue, and afterward he says, well, I don't quite understand it, but alright. He like holds it out so it dangles from his fingers by the pommel, and just sort of drops it, and it thunks into the carpet at the bottom of the wagon and just sticks up straight. And like, all right, I have +1 magic dagger. Let's see. He starts thumbing through his book again. He says, all right. Any other weapons?
Take my dagger back now.
Okay, you have 8. You can try to attune it.
Does Raiken know this is happening?
Can you only have so many items attuned though?
Yeah.
3.
Yes, I don't have hardly any actually attuned, so just gonna take my dagger back.
In any event, to answer Raiken's question, I mean, when you're riding along with the caravan, are you paying attention to what's going on in the wagon, or are you more just paying attention to following the wagon and dealing with Kubriel's bullshit as she talks to you?
Let's see. He's probably more just checking his surroundings, so he's probably not knowing what's going on.
Are you going to have partaken in any language lessons?
No.
Oh, okay. It's so lonely on the tiger now.
It's okay. Him and Kubriel are one.
Yikes.
It's not creepy at all.
Not that way.
I'm going to miss the sand. I like the feel of its warmth between my toe pads. Feels clean.
But it's hot.
That's what I like best about it. No, second best. Third best? Second best.
I'm sure you'll enjoy the forest again when we get back.
But it's dirty there.
I thought you liked rolling around in the grass and climbing on the trees.
I do like climbing the trees.
See, you'll enjoy it when you get back.
There are more animals to hunt in the forest.
Exactly.
Out here, there's precious little. I saw a rat or something earlier.
What did it look like? Did it actually look like a rat?
It had a face with eyes. It was dark, brownish, I guess, small. It was over. She kind of like looks around. You can see her head like settling from side to side. That way. It was a while ago.
Okay. Yep, definitely sounds like a rat.
Do rats live in the desert?
I don't know.
You're from this world.
I am not from the desert. I am from Arcosia.
That's far away.
We took a boat. We did.
And, we took another boat, I think. Yeah. We definitely took another boat. I remember the second boat. You left me on the first boat.
You were guarding the boat.
I was?
Oh my gosh. You were supposed to, but then you ended up eating stuff.
There was nothing else to eat.
Oh my gosh.
You
But
didn't
you ate
leave me.
bedrolls.
That's right.
I didn't eat the bedrolls. I made them more comfortable.
By chewing on them.
They were more comfortable in the end. And besides, why do you care? They were mine.
They were not yours.
Yes, they were.
No, they were other people's.
I slept on top of them. They were mine.
That does not mean they're yours.
Where are they? I want my bedrolls.
You ate them.
That doesn't sound like me. You left them on the boat, didn't you?
No, we
That
had
was
to get
rude.
rid of them.
What? Those were my bedrolls. Why would you get rid of my bedrolls? What am I supposed to sleep on now?
The ground. That's what you've been doing.
Oh, yeah. The sand is nice and warm. I'm gonna miss it.
Are you tired, Dad?
Oh, I'm tired of something, that's for sure, Leah.
You look frustrated.
Oh, you know, just the usual.
Oh, is the tiger bothering you?
No, the tiger is not bothering him. The tiger is his best friend. You must be bothering him.
I wouldn't go that far.
The tiger just sort of, like, stares at you from next to the wagon.
Okay, when I don't get an answer, I'm just gonna move my attention over to Lorelei.
Don't look at me.
Yeah,
He's still stupid.
So, Lorelei
Hug is
I don't
familiar.
recall ever having a confrontation with the thing I unknowingly fireballed.
He argues with his tiger a lot, and we can't hear it.
Angels are really uppity.
Oh, you know Kubriel's real identity? Spirit?
I mean, your friend is a paladin of Cord.
Oh, so, okay. That makes sense.
He's wearing Cordish symbols all over him.
Yeah,
Yes,
that is the
magic
armor code.
So, I imagine that he serves the god, and was granted an angel to serve him.
Yeah, same as Centaurimel grants me you.
She frowns at this and says, "What?"
Well, ish?
I came here to help Centaurimel out. He's my friend.
Yeah.
He
Yeah, okay, so
asked
maybe
me
not-
to come help you.
Well, this is awkward.
He didn't grant me to you. I'm here to help you. My choice.
Well, then you made a good choice. On a side note, do you remember much of how it was in the Feywild?
Of course. Beautiful and magical, unlike this place. It's very dull and dry and hot here.
Well, at least then we're on the same page.
You
This
were
place
in
could-
the forest, you saw it. Why would you want
Yeah.
to leave?
I didn't have a choice. Besides, I couldn't stay there and leave this world in turmoil. It needs me.
Well, I'm here to help you fix those things that are wrong with this world. Putting it in turmoil. So what are we doing first?
Getting to the giant city.
How big?
Well, and it's not necessarily that the city is big, it's the giants are living there are big. But it is kind of big.
Wait, we're going to a place where there are giants?
Yeah, sort of giants?
Aren't they
They're friendly.
dangerous? I thought the giants were dangerous. I seem to remember giants being dangerous.
If you try to fist bump them, they're pretty dangerous, yeah.
Is
Well, excuse me, that was a high five. Thank you very much.
Are these words for fighting? I've not heard these words.
It's more like I don't understand. It's like a special kind of greeting. I look over at Cyrus.
Why are greetings dangerous? She looks over at Cyrus. Why are greetings dangerous?
Well, because we were enthusiastic about it. I'm my size, and he was about, 9 feet tall?
Between a halfling and a giant is a lot.
Well, half giant, a Goliath to be more specific.
Halfling and half giant. That's still a lot.
Yeah.
Maybe you should not greet people 3 times your size.
Yeah, but at least now I can say I have the farthest travel record for, flight by high five.
Stilia, is that a good thing? Is
Great
that something
accomplishment.
people
No.
want? Is that a
I
coveted
just
title?
I shake
It's
my
not a
head.
good thing. It's just, it's at least something I can say that makes it slightly better.
Humanoids are weird.
Indeed.
You
You
also
have
still haven't.
competitions that are not to the death. That's
Yeah.
confusing.
That's good. I mean, we shouldn't. People shouldn't just die for entertainment.
Entertainment. What's
Isn't that what
entertaining about
competitions are
death?
for? Well, you said competition. Isn't competitions for entertainment?
Very often it's for territory, or food, or mates. Living beings compete for a lot of things. You compete for fun. And that is strange.
I can't remember ever competing about anything myself.
You competed yesterday. Against those creatures from the sand. Remember that time I blew up?
That was just a fight, and yes, I remember that. I
That's
look
a
over outside a
competition.
second.
Hey, I didn't know she was there. I didn't know she could turn invisible.
Excuses.
Don't talk about me in the
It's not
third
an
person. I'm right here.
excuse, it's the truth. And also, I'm sorry. Had I known you were there, I would have aimed it somewhere else.
In any event, that was a competition. The winner got to live.
I never thought of it like that. I just thought of it a means of surviving.
It is.
Just-
That's
or
what
just a
competition is
fight.
about. The winner gets to eat. The winner gets to sleep. The winner gets to have children. The winner gets to live. All of these are competitions.
That's interesting.
But you humanoids in this material plane are the only ones I've seen, though my experience is limited to the Feywild, that do it for sport.
Well,
Even
when
life and death.
when I say competition in that case, I would think of it more in the sense of a quarrel or like animal fights. Though I never liked those. Poor chickens.
She looks very confused. Are the
And
chickens
then there was
competing
this-
for land?
No, it's just. Never mind. It's. When I say compete or competition, I don't necessarily think of violence. There are other forms, like a drinking competition or something.
Sport.
Yes. Sport. Like a jousting. Or a dance-off.
Dance. Off.
Yes, dance. Well, you just dance against
It's a
it.
dance-off.
It's just two people dancing. It's nothing exciting.
Are they dancing
So
together?
like a ball.
Sometimes.
What's the competition? Who wins?
I
How do you
don't-
win?
I don't know. I just looked at teenagers doing it when I was younger. And they just seemed to dance until they got tired, and then the last person that wasn't tired just cheered. I don't think they won anything.
Humanoids are confusing. I don't think that we will need a dance competition to protect this world from this dragon.
Oh no. Well, then we will need to fight and survive. And we need an army.
I don't think dragons dance.
You might be surprised.
I hope I'm not surprised. The thought of a dragon dancing terrifies me.
Why?
I
It's not
think it
that
sounds
weird.
kind of fun. They wriggle its tail.
I mean, I suppose I haven't seen one dance when looking like a dragon, but I mean, they can dance. It's a thing.
Did you ever see your father dance?
Yes.
So dragons
And
do dance?
wasn't that awkward? I mean, a little bit
Seemed
awkward.
fairly normal to me.
I mean, if my father danced, I would close my eyes.
Yeah, but yours is Raiken, so I mean that's just like standard operating
Every time Raiken dances, he gets naked.
I have awesome dance moves.
Sure, do I? I just shake my head to the others, and so he doesn't see it.
So does everybody at this point have marked down the languages and times that they want to learn and make sure that it logistically matches up with what was being offered, and otherwise have nothing marked down?
Yeah.
You
And I'm still fairly certain that I don't have the correct Elven lesson hours because I started noting them way too late. So I need to figure that out at some point.
I mean, just add 1 or 2. Because I think there were only a couple, like, people didn't bother much with the lessons until this long travel.
Sure.
Just tag on 2. Alright, so...
Because the current number is 8, so if I tag on 2, it's 10.
Okay,
cool.
nice.
Does that sound right? I mean, I started lessons long before the others, but I also had some draconic in there.
This is sort of a... Since you don't remember, I can't give you a bunch, but I'll give you a couple.
Yeah, sure.
I'll just say, and the other thing is that not a lot of lessons were done, so, you know, maybe you had as many as 4 or 5, but just because that wasn't taken, you know, written down, I'm just gonna call it 2.
Okay.
Alright. So, Yukikaze, you check your maps, look through the sextant, and realize something's not quite right. After lunch, course correct, and after dinner, course correct some more. And as the sun begins setting ahead of you, which is not super great, sun in your eyes, you do finally see, rising over the sandy horizon, the high square walls of Tuka, casting a long shadow between you and the sun. Or rising darkly before the sun.
Guys, they're getting close.
Woo!
Excellent.
And as evening closes in solidly around you, cladding the sandy desert in shadows and darkness, you find ahead of you, once again, that paved road that just sort of disappears into the sand as it heads away from the wall. And before you, standing about 100 feet tall, is the sandstone wall of the city of Tuka.
Oh, someone's been busy with the map.
Yeah, well, I wanted to do more, but I had a very busy week between last session and this, so I didn't get to work on it as much as I wanted to, so...
Don't feel bad, you still do way more work than I do on my sessions.
The great stone door, separating the sides of the wall, and a tower topping each, and as you approach in the shadow of night under the light of the stars, you're going to hear a gruff Goliath voice call down from on top, accompanied by the rattle of armor, who says, "Halt! Who goes there? I see you down there. State your business,
What was the Mages Guild again? Called?
The Mages Guild.
It's called the Mages Guild.
I mean, the guy,
Calemdar.
Calemdar. So I'll speak up and say, my name is Yukikaze from, the Nagaramoshi tribes. I'm coming to see Calemdar of the Mages Guild.
He looks over the wagon and the tiger and says, "Tiger. Oh, wait a minute. You wouldn't happen to be the Order of the Sacred Flame, would you?"
Yes.
Oh, this is so exciting. Open the gates! And you hear the rattle of armor up top, and it sort of dies off. And after a few moments, you hear the lurching of chains somewhere unseen, and the gates begin to pull apart.
Yeah, I look confused over.
Well, that's
because
unsettling.
Yeah. Yeah,
Usually, recognition's a bad thing.
keep your wits about you guys. You don't know what to expect.
So, do I have any tokens of Goliath? Hey, go to
I don't
the-
know, do you?
I don't know. I've got banshees and abishais and dwarves and more abishais. There's a Bulette. There we go. Stuff's appearing now. I can see shit now. Oh, that's dancing lights. I'm like, dancing what? Oh, Fabio.
Oh, the Goliath should be Fabio.
No. Not happening.
Talk like that, you just ask.
Oh, goodness. Ah, come on. Give me something here. I've been slowly populating this folder with tokens, but, you know, still needs more. Horses. Snotty prince. Oh, spiders. Spirit guardians. Spiritual weapon. Oh, Stan. Wait. Yes? What does this guy look like? Not really. Oh, whiskers. No, I'm gonna have to go get one. Give me a sec. Oh, shit. I've been ignoring a DM. I see.
Yeah, Mystic really wants you to choose Fabio.
Yes, I am aware.
That was sent this morning.
Yes.
Not like now, which would be not a particularly useful time to send that one. Just because I had told them that I would send with a time frame.
Okay, I need to quickly, sorry. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to go with half giant. Who would have thought? You put in Goliath and it gives you the David and Goliath.
Get Disney's Goliath.
I think this will be okay for now. Alrighty. It's gonna be in here. Down. Oops, not that far. Here we go. 19. So it's gotta be this one. That is super not it. Try that again. The only issue is that you gotta refresh the folders by choosing a different folder. Okay, let's try this. There it is. Okay. 2018, 2019, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11. So much stuff happened in November. 12. Boom. No! No! God damn it. Why you do this? Stop. Why? Just getting tons of errors. Go away, please. Please go away. Please. 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 Huh? Cool. So Alt F4 isn't working. Please. Please just finish whatever the fuck you're doing and let me have control back. Okay, gonna have to do stupid bullshit. Huh. That's interesting.
What's that?
According to the task manager, the program I'm currently using isn't running.
But it still exists.
Makes sense.
That's fine.
It just wanted you to remember it. Oh, you're figuring out that. I'm gonna get another drink.
Yeah, What happens if I end Java? There it goes. So, Java was just having a big fat issue. Sorry about that. Let's try this again. I guess. Sure. Oh, nuts. Wow. Talk about a setback. Okay. Show grid. Annoying. 2019, 11, 12. Boof. Let's try this again. 12, 11, 12. There you are. Okay, so actually, I should just be able to replace the problematic tokens with good ones. Cool. Boom. I don't have to do everything all over again. I was half smart. Yay me. Sorry. It decided to blow up on me. Just gotta fix it real quick. Cubes.
Cubies.
Cubies. Range.
Doobie doobie doo.
Where are you? Okay. Cyrus. I didn't actually miss anybody else. You. Yuck. Never mind. About to go bad. Okay. Alright, I think that is everything. Cool. So, the gates open, and you hear, and clink, 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 as he clearly, this armored, half-giant is running, down, some stairs, and he spills out onto the flagstones here, and then, approaches, the wagon. Can I? Hang on. He's like leaning on this giant two-handed sword. Can I? Oh, hold on. He like straightens up and starts like patting down his the pouches on his belt and pops one open and pulls out a book and like begins thumbing through it. I need to. Can I get your autograph? Please, it would mean the world to me and my kid, of course.
I guess I'll grab it and sign it and said you want everyone else's too?
Oh, yes. Excuse me. The exploits of your group and its fearless leader Vendar have been going around town for the last several days.
Who said he wasn't?
Raiken face palms as soon as he hears that.
No, you shut up.
Yes.
You're not in charge.
The captain's hat begs to differ.
Oh my god.
And that captain's hat can stick it.
What is the child's name?
He's growing up fast and strong. I think he's going to be a runner. So my wife and I have named him, excuse me, Sprint.
Okay. I write him a personal message, just like to Sprint. May you grow up strong and quick, and then add in my signature with a heart next to the A.
Oh, you... He, like, points at you. He's like, you must be the Purple Fire Master, Liza. We've heard all about you here.
Liza.
Close enough. It's Leah.
It's an honor to meet you. Excuse me. It's a lot of stairs.
He's just not quietly scoff when he says Fire Master.
Mm.
We've been hearing stories about the...
I send the book backwards, by the way, so more people can write in it if they want.
stories about the zombies that were attacking the farmers in Espara, and how you burned them down, prevented their destruction of the farms. So, how many zombies was it actually?
60.
60.
Oh,
My gosh, I guess it wasn't that many, but there were a few, yeah.
we had heard that there had been an army of zombies rolling over the small farming towns, hundreds deep, and that they were defeated by a group of adventurers known as the
We
Order of the
slaughtered
Sacred
them by
Flame.
the horde.
Oh, you mean in total? I thought you just meant in that one spot. Yeah, there was about 1,000.
Alright, guys. Well, did everyone sign this book? So we do need to get inside because we're waiting to speak to Voice in the Sky. What's his name?
Calemdar.
Calemdar. We need to speak to Calemdar. He's waiting for us.
Of course, he retrieves his book from the last person signed it, which I guess is Raiken, so he's gonna go around.
Yeah.
Oh, that must make you Raiken from
That's
the
me.
island of Arcosia.
Yep, the one and only.
I was told that you ride a majestic white tiger. This one is not white.
No, I've never ridden a white tiger. Just this one.
I also heard that she was 20 feet tall. This one
I
is
mean,
not.
she is pretty big.
Well, anyway.
Oh, but
You
it's
know
like
how
the
stories get exaggerated as they move through the world. Anyway, thank you. He like thumbs through the signatures. You've really made my evening.
I'm glad we could do that.
Please, the city of Tuka.
I think Jebel wouldn't have signed because he's not actually a member of the order.
Okay. Wait. Didn't the order have 7 people traveling with it after you left Thanandir? That's what our bards sing.
Your bards sing about us?
Well, of course. How else do stories get around with travelers and the like? The guilds talk too.
I wonder if they sing my song. I sang at the bar once about our travels.
How many signatures did I sign? So everyone here...
I've got 6.
6.
Okay, who didn't sign?
I'm not actually a member.
I ran out of Jebel.
Well, of course you're a member.
You are now.
Wait, where'd Jebel go? Where's Jebel?
He is no more.
Oh, there he is.
Jebel's the next
he's,
parrot.
he's under the wagon.
There we go. Got it.
He was squished by the wagon.
Please, I've been asking the travelers to tell their stories over and over again for the last 2 days. I'm certain they're tired of me, but I think it'll get a rise if they knew I had met you.
Well, you must be our biggest fan.
I don't know about that. There are several people who are quite enamored of the stories. We haven't had stories of traveling adventurers like yourselves in quite some time. Mostly it's just mercenary guilds, and, you know, sometimes they do some pretty interesting things, but it's always for the coin. Heroes like you. Oh, it's inspirational just to stand in your presence.
Wait,
Well, just to wait until they hear more. Oh, sorry, Jebel.
Have people told stories about me? Because I wasn't there for all that zombie stuff.
Oh, no. No. According to the bards, you helped the group defeat some strange flying multi-eyed monster that attacked the town of Raiken.
Brayton. Yeah, she did. That's where we met him.
Oh yeah, I got to that bit late. I met a unicorn.
Well, that's fantastic! What did it look like?
It's
Beautiful.
A unicorn. It's a horse with.
It looked like a unicorn.
That's
Beautifully
amazing.
white with one large horn.
Maybe someday I'll get to see a unicorn.
I hope not. It tended to not be very friendly to adults.
Oh.
Don't,
Which is
don't
why
be a
only
bad
Jebel and I got to be close to him.
And the children.
Yeah.
Oh, the children.
Let's not get into that.
Well, in any event, Jekyll, yes, your song was sung, as you helped to bring the children back to the town of Raiken.
Yes,
He's just
Jekyll.
gonna blinks for a second.
There seems to be some misunderstanding on the names, but otherwise the details are
I'm-
somewhat close.
I'm looking forward to finding out who's spreading all these stories.
Just wait until you hear the updated ones.
Alright.
Oh, I can't wait. Where are you coming from, by the way? What's out in the desert? I mean,
Not a lot now.
We don't have the time to go through all that right now. I'm sorry.
oh, man. Well, what inn are you staying at? I'll go and look for the stories there.
We don't know yet, so I'm sorry.
Oh,
What's your name?
Man.
I'll just tell him the name of one of the nicer inns in town compared to the one we stayed at last time.
They call me Crunch.
Okay.
Alright.
Because I chew
It
with
was a
my
pleasure
mouth
to meet you,
open.
Crunch.
Oh, I was about to ask.
It's fine. It's stuck.
See you later, Captain.
I'm not a captain.
No, my mistake.
Why does my face keep blinking when you move your cursor? Like when you move.
It's
move the
whoever.
cursor.
It's over.
Oh, but it kept blinking on mine even when he wasn't over me though. So
Because
weird.
if something doesn't have an icon, like the riding lizards, it just picks up whatever it did last sometimes. Like,
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
now it's showing Yuki Kaze.
Yeah, the Ewok. As we pass through, I'm going to look back in towards Vendar inside the cart. What did he do?
I don't even know yet. I'm looking forward to finding out.
I assume this is because of your little disappearance here before we left.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it got kind of steamy too.
Who's driving the cart?
I am.
Okay. Jebel is just going to kind of like hop up in the back and go over to the chest and pull out a sword and hand it to Vendar.
What sword?
You like poison?
I do like poison.
Yeah, this is the purple worm tooth short sword.
Ooh, I'll take that.
As
So
you-
much stuff made.
Yeah, you did. As you pass through, you hear him clank back inside. He gives a call for the gates to close. And you hear him trudge back inside the building at the base of the wall. And then he comes back and says, "Oh! Make sure that you enjoy the festival while you're in town.
Well, there.
What festival?
It's the Liberation Festival. When we took Tuka from the humans."
Yeah, sounds like a blast.
It is. There's floats and food and human effigies.
What?
You might want to keep your head down, Vendar. I'll say in a quieter tone.
Happy Liberation!
That's a little contradictory to the other interaction we had with him.
Wasn't there a festival in Bromdor?
There are a few festivals in Bromdor, but
And
I'm not sure that you were around for any.
There was a festival in Evangard.
Oh, that was before me.
Yeah. It was where the
Yes.
original party met at the Kunenliker.
So I've never experienced the festival.
No, there was the gala that was thrown after the
Right,
treaty
right.
was signed.
Oh yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, that was in Bromdor.
But a proper
What is-
citywide festival is probably going to be a new experience for Leah.
Okay.
Yes.
What is a float? Is it like? Is it like a raft?
Well, I don't know what it is on your world, but on mine it's a wagon that I've decorated with something, and usually people will stand on it and sing or dance or perform during a parade.
Oh, that sounds exciting. Dad, can we see the parade?
Only if we have time.
Oh, please.
Yeah, please.
I mean, we rushed here, so obviously we have pressing matters to attend to.
Oh, we have
What?
that thing with Vendar.
Then hurry it up.
Could this be what the message was about? This liberation?
I find that doubtful,
Oh,
but when we get to the guild, we'll see.
yes, we will.
Right, Vendar, do you want me to go with you? Just back you up.
Nah, I think I should probably go along.
So where are we sleeping?
No,
Let's
no,
get that
no.
settled so I can go to the
Go.
library. I have books I want to read.
I thought we were gonna go straight to the Mages Guild.
That had been my expectation, and I believe that had been what Calemdar thought we would be doing.
All right, Mages Guild. Then I go to the library.
Isn't that library in the Mages Guild?
No, they're close to each other, but they are
Ah.
separate places. The library is the Temple of Ione, and the Mages Guild is the Mages Guild. They're separate powers.
It occurs to me that the library should also be a museum.
Okay. Then.
Makes sense.
It has books on everything that they've been able to collect, but also it will have artifacts and relics from history. Being
So
able
many
to
meat
say,
warps.
So many meat
So
warps. We think these are.
This one says soup on it. We don't know why.
I liked Crunch. He liked you guys.
Oh, Vendar, when I said, do you want me to go with you, I meant in secret. Wink, wink.
All right. Right. Yeah. Totally.
Goodness gracious.
What was that about?
I believe they will be traveling closely.
So, there's stories about us going around here? I mean, I knew the people were talking about us before, but never to this grand. Do you think more people are going to recognize us?
I don't think I've ever had people talk about me before.
Well,
Recognize.
to be fair, apparently
on-
no one knew you existed before these people here.
Recognized by sight? Probably not. But if the group
tiger
announces
will probably
itself
give
with
it
the
away.
name, then well, people might ask questions about a tiger. And as the armor that Raiken is wearing becomes more well known and associated with us, as well as the armor of Bahamut, it might be more difficult to disguise that.
I'm sure that won't bring us any problems.
Who would want to challenge me?
You're a paladin of Cord, isn't that his shtick?
I mean,
to
I would
best
take
the
on the
champion-
challenge. I'm just saying who would challenge me.
To best the
Best there ever
champion
was.
in single combat would be quite a feat. Any cleric or paladin of Cord would want to do so. I imagine you'll be quite popular if you return to the temple.
Haha. Yes. I should let everyone know I'm the champion of.
That's not how I meant that.
Well, that's how he meant that.
But everyone needs to know the awesomeness of Cord.
So
No, go on.
no, I didn't want to interrupt the roleplay.
I merely meant that I believe that you would be facing many challengers should you walk into the temple. I do think that you should inform them that the armor has been found and is not falling apart now.
You should inform the Temple of Ione as well, given they like to keep track of such things.
And also, I think that all the people in the Temple of Cord already, think Cord is pretty good. Like,
But
that's
what will
literally preaching to the converted.
what will I say if they ask me how I know that it's found?
That you're wearing it.
But then they're gonna want to see it.
You don't want to show the clerics of Cord that this most holy of relics is safe. Okay. Then,
But then they'll want to challenge me.
yes. Again, that seems in line with Cord's desires. To me.
But you're telling me not to show them.
No, I'm telling you that you should.
Oh, okay.
I believe it's
So let's-
important that they know. I'm just saying you should be prepared for the fact that many will want to.
Always prepared for a challenge.
Good. But first, we have business to attend to.
I am so confused.
Fine.
Alright, so it is late evening by the time that you arrive, but it is not tomorrow, and it is not midnight, which were the other times you thought you might arrive. Somewhere between 8 and 10 p.m.-ish. The sun has set, and it is quite dark out, but the city, as you enter, is brilliant with light. And you see, as you begin traversing the main thoroughfare here, the primary east-west road that cuts across the approximate center of the city, between the the east gate and the harbor in the west, that along the sides of the road, both sides, up and down, there are strung these ornamented garlands between lantern sconces on the building facades and on the lamp posts next to the road, and all the lamps are lit, multiple lights, and there are people out even this late at night celebrating. You can see that the road around you, ahead of you, up and down, is crowded with people and horses and wagons as they conduct themselves almost as though it's day. One major difference is that you can tell that a good number of these people are already inebriated. But it seems to be a very joyous time, and as you begin heading westward on the road to head toward the district which contains the Mages Guild, which was close to the water, you will see that there are these decorated wagons with, signs and banners and people painted and costumed, and making jolly here up and down the road. But one of the most impressive is that when you reach about the midpoint of the city, which is nearby to the Temple of Ione, and at some point I hope to have all of this populated with actual stuff, but just to give you a sense of the scale of the place. I did do the Temple of Ione. It's big. I was going to do the Temple of Kord, but I ran out of time. So I will continue adding to the city. Sorry that there isn't much now. I would say around here, there is a wagon that is heavily decorated, and around its base, and then stood upon it is a larger-than-life image of what appears to be a humanoid, a human specifically, made out of colored paper, parchment, like that you would write on, and you're not sure what the interior construction is, but it seems to be a human wearing clothes, and the identifying features are that it doesn't have any tells, like pointed ears, or colored eyes, or tail, or horns, or anything, but it has very emphasized rounded ears, and a very just matter-of-fact, stony-looking face. You imagine that this is supposed to evoke thoughts of a human. And the next thing that you notice about it is that it is covered in like rotting vegetables. Like people have been tossing, heads of lettuce and tomatoes at it.
I would have expected for that to have been saved for the actual parade itself. But maybe they'll just set it on fire then.
I mean,
I would expect fire.
It is late at night. Perhaps there was a parade earlier today. But you notice that this human effigy has been abused. And as people pass you by, as you ride down the street in your wagon, all of these tieflings and half-giants and half-orcs, smile and laugh and raise mugs of presumably alcohol, and wish you a happy liberation. And they will, you will be able to see from signage and hear from the people passing you by that this is the 12th annual Liberation Celebration. And as you pass through the city, just gathering information by osmosis, you find that it's approximately a 3-day celebration, and this is the end of the second day.
Oh, we missed most of it.
Maybe you can get the final tomorrow.
Burning tomorrow, I'm sure.
Another important thing to note is that no one necessarily abuses Vendar, even when they see clearly that he is human. As you ride by in the wagon, looking out the sides. They wish a happy liberation, and I think the most snarky remark you get, Vendar, would be a tiefling pointing and saying, "See? Don't need humans to run a working society." And he sticks his tongue out at you before walking away.
Do we see any humans at all in the streets?
A what?
Do we see any humans at all that is not Vendar?
In the street, there are a couple. Tuka has a very, very low human population. You know, if we assume the town to be, 4,000 or 5,000, it's more than that. But if you were to say it was 4,000 or 5,000, you'd have about 100 humans living in the place. Any others would be transients and merchants, and most of them don't leave the inns in the dock district because they're here to transfer goods and leave. It's not that they're not treated well, but there is always a feeling of not quite welcome if you're human.
I mean, it's only 12th Liberation Day. That means that it isn't that long ago that they were liberated.
Right. 12 to 13 years ago.
Yeah. Depending on how long they start celebrating.
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't say a specific number.
Right. Yep. It was recent. Any number of people would recognize that you're not from around here and would unsolicitedly give you fragments of the history of what's going on. So again, by osmosis, you learn that Tuka was the capital city of Toralos, and it was a metro hub and trade monolith, which doesn't seem to have changed. About 13 years ago, the local population of half-orcs and half-giants decided that they needed a place of their own. They got together, and supposedly what happened was they gathered a army, is the word that they use, but by all accounts, it seems like the place was taken in a non-violent manner. Like, nobody talks about a war. They only ever talk about... The only phrase really used, and it's used almost universally, is they took over. And forced the humans out. But nobody mentions bloodshed, nobody talks about casualties. There doesn't seem to be any lasting scars of any kind of malcontent. There are no damaged buildings or obvious large repairs. The walls are all standing. So it's somehow, about 13 years ago, the human population had been forced out of this city, and it was taken over by the half-orcs and half-giants, and then at some point thereafter the tieflings joined them, and it became this monolithic trade empire governed entirely without humans.
Do we hear much of how it was when they were under human control? Were they, like, mistreated in any way?
Asking that, you'd get responses akin to, I mean, does it really matter? There are humans everywhere. They're like cockroaches. They got plenty other places to go. What other place you know of that my people can live is a half-orc who gestures at his tusks, protruding over his upper lip. Nobody trusts me or my kind. They'll think that we're going to pillage and burn their villages when we come by. Now I've got a city I can live in with my family, and nobody bothers me.
That sounds fine, but it's never kind to chase people out of their homes, regardless, especially if they haven't done anything wrong. Just because of their race?
You're pretty little half-elf. You get along with the humans. You don't know what it's like being
Trust me,
us.
I really don't.
Hmm?
Trust me, I really don't. Get along with humans.
He blinks slowly, one eye and then the other. Well, then you know what I'm talking about. Self-important little pink squishy things. My mug is empty. Yay, ale! I'm out.
Yeah. You'll move on.
Okay. Find more ale elsewhere. But yeah, carries on approximately like that. Nobody really abuses you, but you can tell that people are quite happy that the humans are not here any longer. Right. It closed. Of course. Color doesn't match. They need an eyedropper tool. Annoying. Anyway. Grab this. There we go. Here. And grab this. Eh. Didn't click. Thought it did. We'll do it like this for now. That'll be good for now. We'll make it purple. And it's large.
And in charge.
Yeah. Boom. Oh, cancel. Boop. Boop. Alright. Big city. Takes you a while to get around. I was actually more pleased with how the size worked out than I expected to be, so.
Cool.
I mean, it still feels large, even if the numbers aren't quite what we think would be, right?
Yeah.
Let it scroll.
I mean, not large by like today's standards.
Well, no, definitely not.
After I encounter with the last drunk person talking about humans and stuff like that, Leah would be very quiet. Seem to be dwelling in thought.
So you arrive at the Mages Guild. Is everybody going inside the Mages Guild?
I will be going in.
So
This is where the what's it? Messenger is? Is it?
This is where we were told by Calemdar to meet the person looking for Vendar.
Then
fine.
Jebel will turn to Vendar and say, "Do you want me to coach you now?"
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to transform into something small.
What, ferret?
Like a
A
ferret?
Quetzal.
No.
Ferret?
I think a chipmunk.
Okay, you turned into a chipmunk. File. Save. Okay.
And then I'm going to climb up onto Vendar's shoulder.
Okay. You have a chipmunk on your shoulder, Vendar.
I thought you were going to turn to a Quetzal.
No.
That doesn't seem like a particularly good idea. There's a lot of magic to distract Jebel here without being used to the site.
I can't see.
Just don't go and get yourself eaten now, Jebel.
Yeah. Boof. There we go. Alright, let's see. Let's see if I can edit it without exploding it.
I wasn't gonna make that joke, but I'm glad that somebody did.
What joke?
Chipmunk on your shoulder.
Shut the hell up. Alright. Boof.
Low-hanging fruit is the best.
Your name is now Chip, and I have a chip on my shoulder.
Oh my gosh.
Look at that chipmunk though, it's adorable.
Boop.
Tip, 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 tip.
Okay, close enough.
Close enough. Right in the center of his head.
I can't. It always centers on squares. Alright, so you guys are leaving the party. The party is aware that you're leaving the party. Is that all correct?
They're leaving us? Isn't this about Vendar?
Yeah, wait, what is going on? Somebody tell me exactly
Yeah.
what actions are being taken. I'm a little confused.
Hey, this is for you, Vendar. Alright, I'm leaving.
So we're going in to see him, right?
You're going in to see Calemdar?
Or whatever, the messenger, right?
First, we need to talk to Calemdar.
Okay, so go to Calemdar, then to the
Figure
messenger.
out what we need, or he'll point us in the direction of what we need to do.
Okay. And then you head into the Mages Guild, of course, because there are a number of people working here, and they keep all sorts of hours. There is someone who responds to you entering. As you recall, the Mages Guild is a large multi-story building with different... it's kind of got like an open floor plan on the first level, with curtains and things drawn up between the support columns to divide up areas. And the whole area, like, when you walk in, this whole front room kind of has a particular funk to it that is very quickly recognizable as the ingredients in whatever weird experiments they're doing, which will include different types of, plants and chemicals. It smells a little sulfurous, it smells a little rank, like rotting meat. You can imagine that this is some sort of alchemical type experimentation. And so as you enter and the door sighs its way closed behind you, someone appears at the top of the stairs and makes their way down. They're wearing the gray and tan robes of the Tuka Mages Guild. And it appears to be a young looking a half-elf, who, as he reaches the bottom of the stairs, he looks up to see all of you, and bows quickly and says, welcome, there's quite a number of you. What can I do for you this evening? Is there some form of magic that you all need?
We're looking to speak with Calemdar. He's expecting us.
Ah, Master Calemdar. Very good.
Hi,
Hi, you can call me Jarl.
Leah.
Nice to meet you, Leah.
It's not often I meet other half-elves.
He seems to stare at you for a long moment until it becomes rather uncomfortable. Leah says, "You're them, aren't you? The adventurers, the Order of the Holy Fire, right?"
Close enough.
You guys are going to correct him eventually, right?
Close enough.
Like, seriously, you will never build any type of credibility if you don't straighten out the whole name business. I've learned this.
Who's that
The
who
Order of
wanted it in
the
the first
Sacred
place?
Flame. Yeah, the dude who named us isn't even a part of the group anymore.
So you could always take a new name.
We could.
At
Should
this
we?
point, our
Maybe
name's
we
grown
haven't.
too much.
Yeah, when people are talking about us, I don't think changing a name would do much.
I vote new name.
We don't even have the swords anymore. They'll burn out. Stupid beholder.
I still have my everlasting torch.
You need new swords?
No, it's nothing to worry about. They're just rambling
It's a
on.
symbol.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter.
I mean, if it's magic you need, this is sort of the place.
We had to meet someone.
Oh, I can do basic enchantments.
That yellow was in character, right?
Yeah,
Alright, just making sure.
it's late. Ish.
We had to meet someone. That's it.
Okay. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you all. I've heard some stories. You're kind of famous, I think. Something about beholders, which was interesting. I did the research at the Temple of Ion, and terrifying creatures, really, at least by the description that was given in the book.
Oh, yeah, very.
You're very brave to take them on.
It didn't end that well for all of us. I still miss Bruno.
Moment
of silence for our fallen friend.
He quickly shuts up and looks at his feet. After a few seconds, he goes, "I'm sorry to hear that. In any event, if you'll follow me, I can take you to Master Calemdar. He should still be meditating upstairs."
Thank you.
And he leads you up the stairs, through the second floor, up to the third. You recognize the office where you met with Calemdar and the old man. I remember Rashawn. Let's see here. Notes. Characters. Raiken. Calemdar. So Rashaz was the tiefling, and Telmond was the human elder mage. So this is that same room where you met them. And Calemdar is in the seat behind the desk, he has a large tome open in front of him. His eyes appear to be closed at the moment, but once he hears you coming, he opens them and says, yes. My guests. Thank you, Gerald. I can speak with them from here. You may return downstairs. And Gerald excuses himself with a quick bow. And
Bye, Gerald.
I'll talk to you later, Leah.
Sure, if you find time.
He, appears to be about 16. And he heads back down the stairs. Calemdar sweeps his arm before him and says, please, make yourselves comfortable. And several, cushioned chairs and floor pillows kind of slide out from the walls and in front of the desk. I am glad that you took the time, took the effort to get here as quickly as you did. I expected you originally tomorrow, so it seems that you made haste.
Seems important.
Yes, I explained to the professor that there was a bit of a situation. He opens a drawer in the desk and reaches into it. You can hear some items inside shift around and rattle. Before he produces a beige-colored disc. You can roll nature to try and identify it.
I got a 25.
Master
Yes.
of the natural world.
I
got a 12.
Okay.
Hold on. I got 8.
Okay. Leah, it just looks like a oversized stone coin with a couple of holes in it, oddly positioned. It's more or less round, with a couple of, like, arrow points at the bottom of it. And the top is decorated with the face that is facing you is decorated with what looks to be a 5-point star pattern. And there
Doesn't sound that interesting. Leah's gonna lose focus and just drift off.
Okay.
Thinking about the cute boy.
Indeed. He had sandy brown hair and pale green eyes, and a very dark tan complexion fitting of his home in the desert.
No,
Oh, Raiken, you better watch out for that one.
What?
You've seen this before, Vendar. You know that it's the dried shell of a sea creature of some kind. You know that they're not good eating.
Okay.
Laramendus, Master of Nature, you recognize this as, for what it is, which is the dried husk of an echinoderm known as a sand dollar. I'm not changing the name to something more in-world fitting. Deal with it.
That's reasonable. Why call a rabbit a smear?
Right? So you recognize the sand dollar. He says, "Oh, almost 3 days ago, a very imposing half-giant asked to speak with me specifically, as he wished to get a message to the adventurers what recently came through town. He wanted to know in particular about any thievy type ones that might be with you. I told him that you were out on an excursion into the desert, and that as soon as you came back, I'd get you the message that he wanted to speak with you. Now, and then he gave me this, and he sets the sand dollar on the table. There are a number of groups of ruffians who make their homes here in Tuka and give the general population agita on a daily basis, for any number of reasons, whether it's petty thievery or murder. Now, I'm not an expert on them, as I mostly get to stay here and out of trouble, but I can put two and two together, and I imagine that this is the calling card of the Sand Dollar Gang. Have you heard of them?
Have I, with a 24 in history?
Did you...
I don't know how closely I paid attention to
no.
what Vendar said when he was talking about the job that I wasn't going to participate in because I was copying spells.
I got a 23.
Okay. Vendar, why don't you roll history as well? Because I didn't hear you.
18.
Okay. Yeah. There you didn't care about that job, so
I had
it doesn't.
other things I need to do.
It doesn't even cross your mind. He says, "Have you heard of them?" And you just go, "Eh."
Is that a local gang?
Vendar and Raiken, you do have a memory point for this word. It triggers a wait. I've heard that before. And Vendar, you do recall when you spoke to Mr. Johnson. That he had given you a map directing you to the Sand Dollar Gang's hideout, and asked you to take something from them.
Oh, they were the guys that the Johnson dude wanted us to steal from.
Oh, yes.
He had been adamant that it was a group of crooks, and that you would be doing the city a favor and getting paid for it, which is, in his words, what you adventurers like, right?
Oh, so it's coming full circle.
So we didn't do the job.
Well, now we can do a job.
I'm certain I don't know what exactly is going on between you and the Sand Dollar Gang, but they came here and were very threatening looking in front of me and wanted you, so if I tell you about it and you go see them, it should stop being my problem.
Okay. I'm sure it won't go horribly alright.
They did mention that something of value had been taken from them, and they believed it to be in the possession of this group's thief.
Vendar?
I look at Vendar.
I didn't steal it.
I just mouth the words.
What is it?
I mean, if it's the thing that Johnson wanted us to steal, it was like a gem or something with something inside it.
They also... The reason I told you that I thought a life might be in danger there, Professor, is that they had implied as much, saying it would be a shame if something happened to her because you wanted something shiny.
Oh. Well, fuck. Well, now we gotta do it.
Vendar?
Do you know who they mean and what exactly they're meaning?
I do.
I
I
know
start
who they
displaying
mean.
images of the Tabaxi.
Yes, I'm thinking they probably mean Lynn, and she was probably the one who tried to steal it. We gotta go save her, though.
So, but if she didn't steal it, then how will you find it? Whatever it is. Or if she did steal it, how will you find it if they have her?
Well, that's the trick to it, isn't it? Let's see if we can find Mr. Johnston. He was the one who wanted to steal it. He would probably know what happened to it. Probably hired her to steal it.
So I'm very certain I didn't hear any of this conversation, because it would be very unhealthy for me to have. So, Lair, there's only one other order of business that I need you to attend to. And he waves his hand in front of him and produces a red glowing orb that flashes brightly once and then disappears. And as it disappears, you hear the click of a latch and the creak of hinges behind you. And standing in the hallway between you and the stairs, you recognize Nalia.
Who that?
How that? What?
This is the friend of mine that I've been sending to, periodically.
But she's here?
Presumably teleportation, I say to whichever one of you.
Does she have your book?
That.
She raises a slender hand in front of her face, extending one index finger, and curls it toward herself twice.
Oh, well, I'll head over that way.
I come rushing after.
As you approach, she takes a step and a half towards you and pulls you into a tight embrace. It took you long enough to get here, Lair. Didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you to send to me when you arrived?
Did she?
She did.
Are you sure?
Positive.
I don't remember this.
I tagged all of the sendings, so go find it.
I'm looking.
At least I think I tagged all of them.
I know.
Or I tagged close to, like, if there were a bunch in a row, I just tagged the top one.
Hi, long time. You don't have anything, any like evil cakes or something this time, alright?
She slowly releases Larabenda, stepping back from him and looking down at you. I promise you, child, none of my cakes were evil. You see that her hair and eyes shift as she assumes a new, more relaxed and controlled-looking posture. I need to scroll up to where I wrote
I'm
her
not
different
seeing ascending with that.
I'm telling you it's there. I know I said it.
Well,
Oh, you know what? It was
cream
probably
is
during the 5-minute conversation, Sam.
Convenient.
Well, the ice cream made us do things, and you
That
never
one
told me
wasn't-
not to. You never told me not to swallow the root you gave me.
Right.
Should have given me a heads up.
So her
In
hair...
the 5-minute conversation, we didn't say that we were going straight back to Tuka, did we?
Yeah.
No, because going to Tuka... I don't know.
She asked you what your next destination was, and you said, most likely Tuka, and she said, send to me when you arrive.
We were here. I was planning too shortly.
She had deep red hair and golden amber eyes, and as she released Lair and addressed you, it changed to auburn brown with purple eyes. And she speaks in a much more cool tone, and says, you swallowed the bitter root?
Oh yeah. It's a while ago. It was in. I forgot the name of it now. The river town, the river city, the capital.
Oh, Shikawa in Daigo Southus?
No. This was in
Everwatch.
Everwatch. Yeah.
Oh, that, yes. That River City. That is also a River City, yes.
Yeah.
I don't have a good image of Nalia drawn up yet. I have a bad one that I don't like, but I'm going to leave that off.
Yeah, it made me a bit weird.
Yes. Ingesting bitterroot will have a lot of very unpleasant effects on the body. It is a psychotropic.
I don't understand what that
Don't
means, but
say.
it was bad. I said you could have given me a heads up.
I am sorry that happened to you. I did not realize I would need to inform you of that. I've not met someone who's never used it before.
Well, I had never had the purge before.
But it also tastes very bad, so I wouldn't expect somebody to want to swallow it.
It is called bitter root.
That tastes worse.
I feel most deeply for you. You seem to still be alive. So, your travels haven't killed you, Orlair. What has been happening that I should know about that Lair has neglected to tell me?
A lot.
You killed one of us, but we got two new.
We killed one of us. We didn't kill one of us. Okay.
I mean, we sort of killed one of us.
Her hair switches to a golden blonde and her eyes turn green. I see. You say that you've lost one but gained two, yet I only see the same number as were in my home.
Oh yeah, everyone left.
One of our party members is a chipmunk.
The chipmunk is a druid.
She eyes the chipmunk sitting on Vendar's shoulder.
His name is Chip. At least he's a chipmunk it is.
Oh, right. I thought
She
they were
blinks a
referencing
couple
to...
of times.
I thought they were referring that Rowan was missing too.
And then she laughs. I see. Chip on your shoulder. I get it.
Yeah.
I blink confused.
She approaches closer and bends down to being an Eladrin. She is tall. She examines the chipmunk. So, this is a druid. Are they always chipmunks?
Oh, no, he can turn into anything. As long as it's like a creature.
He's turned into elementals as well.
Yeah, it's pretty fascinating.
She straightens up and her hair goes suddenly red, eyes returning to Emma. She goes, interesting. She pulls out a book. What exactly... You have a list of all the forms he can take? What elementals? Fire? Air? Water?
We've seen him as a
I've seen
fire elemental
fire
and earth.
Interesting. But you can't confirm that he went to air or water?
We've never seen him do that, but I mean, he could probably tell you more.
Is the chipmunk his preferred form? She, strokes it with the feather of her quill for a moment, scratching under its chin.
See, if you became a Quetzal, then you could attack.
Who do you hop over onto?
No, he's whatever shoulder on Vendar he's on, he's hopping over to the other one.
Oh, okay. Fascinating.
And then kind of leaning out, trying to wave to Leah.
Yeah, I'm gonna activate Beast Speak and start communicating with him.
Right.
Because of course. Why not?
Why are you in beast form now? Wouldn't it be easier for you to tell her these things yourself?
I don't know what's going on now. I kind of zoned out for a second. Who is this?
Nalia, she's Laramendes' friend. She's very interested in everything.
Head. Yes.
And the types of magic he uses. You said it wasn't arcane?
No.
Fascinating. She continues scrawling in the book. She seems very excited. You know this form well.
So can I turn back into a gnome now? I mean, I don't need to hide. Vendar's not going to be jumped by anyone.
No.
If you turn into a gnome on his shoulder, is going to be jumped by you, but that's...
Yeah, that is a bit of a size difference there.
Yeah, all you hear is chip though.
I know.
Yeah. Squeakum, squeakity.
Yeah.
So Jebel's just going to leap off his shoulder and in midair just turn back into a gnome.
Puff. M-M-K-H-I-J, bull. Boof. Poof. So you jump off his shoulder and poof, back into their small gnome form next to him. She goes, "Oh, my. Interesting. A gnome. Very interesting. Did you find him at Garland? I've forgotten."
We ran into him when we encountered the beholder.
Oh, that's right. I recall that now, of course. Sorry. There's just been so much on my mind lately, given everything. I don't want to get into that quite yet. There is another question. May I see it?
I face Raiken at that point.
Into your
She turns her golden-eyed gaze on Raiken, and she looks very expectantly at you.
I don't know if
Raiken will puff out his chest, and he will say the incantation to release the armor from his necklace.
She immediately begins writing as you begin singing this incantation, and as it's happening, asking you.
Raiken has to say it. He has to do it. I demand it.
I'm gonna turn my back against him and close my eyes, hiding them under my arms.
You're gonna say it, Alex?
Oh, you want me to say the incantation?
Yep, yeah, say it.
Summoning the armor, you gotta say it.
It's the rules.
Part of the deal.
Hold on a second. I gotta pull it out.
Baluswal.
Don't pull it out. That's children present.
Pull it up.
Goodness gracious.
Get your head out of the gutter.
She turns to...
Okay. Okay. Hold on, I gotta make sure this is the right one. Yes, okay. Balaswell, Neskel, Gungnir, Tron.
Is that... Celestial? And as you complete saying your incantation, again, the brilliant light beams up from the floor, enshrouding your entire body in shadow. And again, you see the silhouette of Raiken become naked and go through a series of combat poses, as like a kata. And as he completes each pose, a piece of armor, gauntlets, boots, torso, helmet, appears on his body.
Finally, cock piece.
Finally, codpiece. And each one, spared the silhouette, completely visible in the light, even though his body remains silhouetted, until all of the pieces have been assembled. The armor is complete, and this divine music seems to fade off, and he becomes fully visible once more.
What a great ending.
Is it safe? Is it over?
It's always safe when I'm around.
No, not what she means. You're good, Leah.
Thanks, Cyrus.
Raiken stands before the group, wearing the armor of cord, which is metal plates covering his hands, arms, feet, legs, torso, and a partial helmet over his head in white and silver and blue and orange colors modeled over the surface. The last thing to appear during his transformation is this visor, but unlike normal plate armor, the visor isn't a metal formed plate with a slit for his eyes. It looks like colored glass, like you would see in the windows of the temples here in Tuka, as Tuka is famous for its glassworks. But it's bubbled and shaped round, very unnatural. Not a pain at all. You stand there in your full 7'1".
7 foot. Well, that's what I don't know with armor on. I mean, just in general, I'm 7 foot.
Oh, okay, 7 foot. So yeah, I mean, the armor is going to be, a couple more inches in total in your glory, and you can see that her eyes have gone wide as she watches this happen. She's like writing without even looking at the page. Amazing. So this is what it's like to don the artifact of a god. Oh, I could study this for years.
It is pretty awesome.
So, how does he take it off? Like, does it come off piece by piece?
Raiken will then summon it.
You unsummon it, and the light flutters around you momentarily, accompanied by an unseen wind, and the glow sort of disappears, each piece fading away, starting from your head going down, and you're left in your desert silks again. But I don't understand. Where did it go?
Here, and Raiken will point to his necklace that's hanging on, the pendant that's hanging on around his neck.
Oh, that is ingenious! She begins writing again. It's enchanted jewelry that when activated, summons the armor onto the wearer.
Yes.
Lair, how much time did that take? The whole thing? Just a couple of seconds, right?
Voice in the sky.
Yeah, it's a minor action, so a bonus action to do it. So it's literally just a couple of seconds.
Yeah, I can be more precise if she wants me to be, because I can be.
Yeah,
or I guess I can ask Ash for like an exact number.
The transformation appeared to take precisely 3 seconds, Scholar.
Thank you.
And it doesn't seem to hinder his movements at all. So it's just like normal armor.
Yes.
And
it feels perfect.
Perfect. Has anybody else put it on? Do we know if it comes in perfectly for each
no.
Experimentation is needed. Lair!
No.
What do you mean, no?
I'm not giving this up.
Lair, we had an agreement.
A diva did show up. And
a singer?
Bless his use of the armor. What did she say?
A singer?
A diva.
A diva?
A diva. Oh.
It might sing, I'm not sure. There's the celestial choruses and all of that.
You see the suffering expression crossing her face before her colors even begin to change, as she falls back into her auburn brown and purple eyes. Says, I don't want to deal with the gods. Are you saying he really can't give it to me?
I am
unsure. To be the champion of Cord.
The temple promised that I could study it once it was returned, and ensure that it would not be destroyed. And you agreed to that too, Lair.
I believe the agreement was an artifact, and I believe that he had promised his armor instead. It is 10:30.
Yes. I don't like you trying to change the deal on me there. What am I getting?
A different god's armor.
I believe that the original understanding had been this is also me. I think that the understanding had been that acquired armor of Cord, armor of Bahamut goes to Dahlia.
I mean, she
because
had not been
nobody had been using the armor of. Nobody would have been using the armor of Bahamut since it was currently on, or at that point it was on Raiken, but now it's on, Yuki, which just makes more sense.
Well, we'll get to have this argument next week.
Dun dun dun. I'm sorry, Nalia.
It's like a soap opera.
No, you're not. You know you're not sorry.
No, he's not.
Next week will also involve actually introducing Nerevar to her since he's been standing there the whole time.
Yes, no, I was well aware. I just wanted to make sure I got the actual party-related stuff out of the way before throwing NPC stuff.
That was why I didn't say anything.
Yeah. Nope, thank you. I didn't want to, knowing we had a limited time, I didn't want to go into NPC stuff when I could deal with player stuff instead.
Yep.
Okay. So. Nice. Good job, everybody. Looks like Malachi already left. When did that happen?
As soon as he said, I'm going to bed.
When I said it's 10:30.
I see.
Is when he sent the message. So.
But that was a minute early. There was still a minute left. That was at 10:29.
I mean, it could have been like 10:29:58.
When you said that it was 10:30, it was 10:29:15.
It probably wasn't 10:29:58 when he said it.
Anyway. Good job. 600 XPs for everybody.
Woo!
Good roleplay, everyone. And so next week you'll have to deal with Nalia's artifact, the Sand Dollar Gang, in some order, and Nerevar.
Oh shit! Under 10,000 to go.
Nice.
To 11, or are we past 11?
Yeah, to level 12.
Dang.
We're at 11.
Yeah. I need 7,599 XP. That's a 12.
Well, thank you all for joining me this week, and hopefully you had a good time.
Yeah.
Yeet.